Welcome back on this Thursday. As we reported earlier, the annual food price report, the 16th annual, has been released, and it doesn't offer a very rosy picture for the coming year. Sylvain Charlebois, that is Dalhousie University Agri-Food Analytics Lab Director, lead author of the report. I can't remember a more pessimistic report in all the years you've been doing this.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, numbers accumulate over the years. In the last 5 years, food prices have gone up 27%. So when you slap an extra 6% on that, you end up with $1,000 for a family of four. So we are expecting a family of four to spend about $17,500 on food for 2026 to buy, I would say, the desirable food basket. And so it's a lot. It's rent money basically for a lot of people. That's going to be driven by meat essentially, and not just beef, everything. Pork, chicken, and also the center of the store. This is a part of the grocery store we don't talk a whole lot about, but we are expecting groceries, dry pasta, sauces, nuts, coffee as well. All these things will likely go up in price in the next 12 months or so.
I know you tend to speak to the grocery stores at sort of the outer circle and then the inner part where the packaged foods are. But let's talk a bit about that trend of protein prices and meat prices in particular. You say in the report, we don't see how beef prices could normalize before mid-2027.
Yes.
How come?
Absolutely. It's so we've gone through this before in 2014 where droughts impacted North America, and yes, cattle producers sold off their herds ahead of time to save some money, but they rebuilt their herds soon after because the economy was actually strong. This time around, a lot of producers are just exiting the industry essentially, and the outlook for the economic outlook for both the United States and Canada is not great. And so you need a strong economy to get consumers to buy beef, which is a premium product. And so right now, a lot of cattle producers are just staying on the sidelines, just waiting it out, basically. And so that's putting more pressure on chicken and pork for 2026.
Yeah, you were saying chicken, I think in one of our previous interviews, up, what, maybe a full quarter in this coming year?
Yeah, absolutely. So whole chicken prices are up 23% already. And so thighs and breasts aren't as high. We're talking 7-10%, but that's likely going to increase in the new year, unfortunately.
You brought up climate change. Tell me about what's sort of perpetrating this. Is it climate issues? Is it trade issues? Is it federal government policy? Is it energy prices, or is it a combination of everything?
Well, climate is a constant. Without being a constant, it's a constant affecting different verticals, and beef, again, beef is a good example of that. In fact, actually, the difference between 2014 and now, the beef situation we're in right now, is that the drought actually impacted the whole entire continent. There was no place to find cheap feed for animals. So obviously, climate change was a big factor there. Coffee. I know a lot of people listening in right now drink coffee on a regular basis. Well, if you look at coffee futures right now, they're above $4 US a pound. It's been like that for a month, which means that probably next year, prices are likely going to rise for coffee as well. So, and in produce, I mean, there were some surprises in 2025. Produce actually got cheaper. We thought with the Buy Canadian movement, the anti-American boycott, we thought that perhaps produce would get more expensive by getting food from South Africa, Peru, Egypt. No, absolutely not. Actually, we were saved. Actually, there was one place where things really weren't as rocky, and that was produce. In 2026, we're expecting vegetables to remain somewhat calm, not fruits. Fruits, we're expecting increases of up to 5%.
Okay. You mentioned the Buy Canadian movement. That had much fanfare. It's a little quieter now. Seems to be running up against the reality of prices, especially among younger people who just don't have that luxury, perhaps, to say, I'll spend a little more to buy Canadian.
You know, Todd, I think it's the reality no one wanted to realize. I mean, yes, absolutely, price is a big issue, and I've actually visited companies in recent months in Quebec and Ontario. Canadian companies providing good quality food at a good price. And those companies have been successful, increasing sales. One company actually doubled its sales this year alone because of the Buy Canadian movement. So there are successes here and there as long as you offer a good quality product at a decent price. You can't rely on Canadians solely on the fact that you are Canadian. You have to offer more. And that's the lesson that we've learned in 2025.
Yeah, it's a good lesson. How are the Maritimes provinces' outlook compared to, say, the rest of the country next year?
It's a mixed bag. Actually, some provinces were expecting food inflation to be above average and others below average. And so, I mean, the Atlantic is always hit hard by inflation, generally speaking. So we are expecting both New Brunswick and PEI to be below average, Newfoundland and Nova Scotia above average. But essentially, the two things that we look for when it comes to the Atlantic is the Canadian dollar and energy costs. We believe the Canadian dollar will remain at the same level. If it remains stable, that helps us, especially during the winter months. Energy costs, there's a huge question mark there. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. If that goes up, of course, to service the Atlantic will cost more money for to transport companies and people actually buying food to replenish stores in our region.
Right. Sylvain, the headline here tonight, an extra $1,000 for a family of four. That's going to be, pardon the pun, tough to swallow, I think, for a lot of Maritimers. Thanks for your time tonight. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We'll take a break. We'll be back with much more.